we're going to take this down to dimension now, which is 1.37 off of this face down will leave me 5/8 in the bottom. Sorry if it's a bit of a muddle. I'm going down 1.53 millimeters to leave 5/8 in the bottom, but that's just how it is when you're crossing between metric and imperial. I want to just carefully dust off on that surface and then set the DRO. What I'm going to do is just hog a little bit of that material out there with this slot cutter, just so there's less to clear out with the dovetail cutter, which is a bit more fragile. What I've done with this cutter is just taken a bit of the material out of there, so there's less to do with the dovetail cutter. So I'm going to swap this out now for a dovetail cutter. Unfortunately, the depth of the cutter is not deep enough to do the full dovetail joint. So what I'm going to have to do is order up a new cutter so I can get to the full height. I could try and do it by raising the cutter up and blending it in, but I'd rather just get another cutter because I'll use it. You know, it's not going to be wasted, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a cutter that'll cover the full height. As you can see, my current cutter doesn't go the full distance. I want it to go right up to the tip. So I've got another cutter on order, and then I'll come back and finish it off. I'm going to turn my attention to this piece now. First complication I've got, obviously, I mean the outside is fairly straightforward, just milling down, chamfering. This part, drilling a couple of holes. We've got a hole through the centre with a thread in the centre for the pin. But we've got this arrangement, so what I've got to do is I'm going to nibble this away with a router bit. I'm not quite sure of the, you see, I can't even drill that hole to start with because you know, I've got nothing to hold it. So anyway, I'm gonna try and do all of this feature with an end mill plunging it and see how that works out. Should be okay if I take it easy, but we'll find out, won't we? Right, I'm going to start off by setting up the block. got it upright. I mean, I could indicate it in, but it's not really that critical. So what I need to do now is find the center and this face edge. Right, that's the first stage, which is this cutout here. So now I'm going to do the 12mm cutout there. Right, I've taken a dust cut on there to set the cutter height. So now I'm going to put the stop on down 1/4 of an inch so I can rebate out for the 12mm, and I'm going to nibble away at it like I did the last one. Right, that's not going to work out right, is it? Made a little boo-boo there. Change the parallels because I've obviously got to have this piece up above the bottom jaw. Right, I haven't got all of the way, I've still got 1/4 of a millimetre to go. For anyone who's interested, I've been making 1/4 of a millimetre depth cuts. It sort of suddenly dawned on me part way through that I could have actually done this with the boring bar, which might have been a better option, but anyway, I don't want to move it now, I'm part way through. So I've rigged up a temporary stop because I don't have a stop on my vise. But this will work. It's not right to the bottom of where I need to be, but it'll stop me clouting the vise. Right, there's the feature. There's the feature. Just got to deburr it, clean it up a little bit, clean the faces up, well, what'll be left of them anyway. So that's worked out quite well. Right, I've got to go 1513 from the centre and 794 down, so I'll just dust off on this surface. Right, that's milled out now, which is this bottom side. Now I'm going to get these two holes drilled for the tool holder, which are these two. It doesn't actually say how deep that hole goes, or I can't see it anywhere, but I can take it from the tool itself. The dimensions on the tool are 3/8, so I can only assume that that hole, or these holes I should say, are 3/8 deep. Alright, let's get these couple of 12mm holes bored in there. to drill an oil hole in there now, which is 532 by 3/16 deep. Right, that's everything complete there. We've got the 2 holes for the tool holders and the centre hole for a setup pin. I'm just going to deburr this and we're going to put it back in like that and drill the holes through there. Right, I'm now going to get this hole drilled through there, and then there'll be a 4.4 hole going through for an M5 tab, and then a counter bore of 5.1. That's for a couple of little grub screws, and there's a pin go in the centre as well for locking down the tool heads. What I'm going to do is remove a bit of this material off both sides so there's less to take out with the dovetail bit. Right, that's enough, I think. It's not a very reliable setup, but I don't want to go too far. That's a little bit of material moved. So now there's a lot less for the dovetail cutter to do. So we'll get the dovetail cutter in when it arrives and get these finished off. Okay, it's about a week later now, and I've got the new cutter. Just get this positioned. I'm going to have to turn the part round, which I didn't really want to do. The reason being, the table won't go back far enough to get the cutter in to come along the back. So I'm going to have to flip the part round. Right, let's make a start on this side then. Right, just got to deburr it now and get the other half of the slide set up and mill it till we can fit this in. It was all going very well right up until this point where I think there was some cutter deflection or something, and the cutter jammed in and bust some teeth off. Not only did it bust some teeth off of the cutter, it bust some teeth off of the high and low gearing. I was in the low gearing, and it's bust a couple of teeth off the low gear cog, so I've got another one of those on order as well. Well, I've had some issues cutting the dovetail. I've already broken some teeth off this cutter. Purely my own fault, I think. I was running it too fast. A bit concerned about one part on here that I may have work hardened now, but we'll have to see. So I'm going to put the smaller cutter back in, the one that's not quite deep enough for this, clean a lot of this out, and I've got another new cutter that hopefully I can use just for finishing off. That's an absolutely perfect fit. Really pleased with that now after the initial dovetail disaster. Right, well, what I've learned from that is if you're cutting dovetails, it's low and slow, which essentially I mean low speed, slow feed and a tiny cut, and that's worked out perfectly. Really pleased with that. That's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. I would also appreciate it if you would click the subscribe button, because that will enable me to grow the channel so that I can keep making these videos. Please leave a comment or a question. I do read all of the comments and reply to as many as I can. Thanks for watching.